Welcome into Factfinder Investigates. I'm Dylan Domangue. A Mays woman says she's out nearly $2,000 after paying a contractor to paint her house. After months of waiting, she says the job never got done, and now the contractor won't return her messages. Factfinder now working to get her money back.
This is the first house I've ever owned that I've ever purchased, and I was just excited to make it my own.
Sally Snyder recently moved from California to Kansas, settling down in a newly built house in Mays.
Of course, when you move into a house, you kind of want to put your own stamp on it, and so I had little changes I wanted to make.
Sally was eager to get started on her house projects, but not knowing anyone in the area, she turned to the Home Depot Pro-Referral website to find a contractor. There, she hired Kyle Bennett with Wichita Construction.
I started going down my list of little things I wanted done, and he was very willing to do those things for me.
It began with small projects, mounting TVs and installing medicine cabinets. Sally was satisfied with the work and eventually asked Kyle to do a bigger project and paint her house.
It just seemed like he was a good person to give my business to.
So Kyle wrote Sally an estimate in April for $3,600. She says he required a 50% deposit, so she paid $1,800 up front and in cash. 7 months later, Sally says Kyle never came back to do the job.
Every time he said, "I'll start on this day," there would be an excuse why he couldn't.
Weeks after picking up the deposit, Kyle eventually told Sally he would return her money.
Bring my deposit by the following week.
Sally showed us a text message from Kyle where he said she should have her money back by mid-May.
And then that was the last I heard from him.
But soon after, her messages went unanswered, and Sally is still waiting for the $1,800 she paid to be returned.
It was very frustrating, and it was my first bad experience in Kansas.
The house is now painted after Sally hired a different contractor. In total, she spent $9,000 on the paint job alone. Now Sally just wants closure and her money returned.
Christmas is coming up, and it'd be great to have that money back.
Now, I did call Kyle Bennett with Wichita Construction. He told me he is working to get the money back to Sally soon, but he did not say exactly what day that would be. Sally says she's still waiting to hear back from him and have her money returned. And Factfinder does want to give you tips to keep in mind if you are hiring a company for a home project. First, if you find a contractor through a referral site such as Home Depot or Angie, do your research ahead of time before hiring them and check for any past job reviews. Second, ask questions. Most contractors are often working on more than one project at a time. Ask how many other jobs they currently have and how long yours might take to get done. And finally, while contractors may require a partial payment up front for certain jobs, never pay up front in cash, and don't pay until the materials arrive for the job.
If you're worried about something, don't pay cash, because cash is easy to take and leave. Checks, at least you have a paper trail. If you need to go back and suit, if you have a verbal agreement with somebody through a text or something like that, that can count in small claims court. So at least if you have a paper trail where your money went, if they're not offering you a receipt, then that's another big red flag.
You can also set up payments through your bank so the contractor knows you do have the money but will not pay it all at once. Now, if this has happened to you, you can file a complaint with the Sedgwick County District Attorney's Office through their Consumer Protection Division. A Harvey County man bringing awareness to catfishing. Catfishing is known as the process of luring someone into a relationship by means of a fictional online persona. Factfinder investigator Gabriela Hernandez spoke with Matthew Yunke as his photos are being used in multiple counties across multiple dating apps to lure people in.
This is not who you think it is. I know this person. It's not him.
Matthew Yunke says he was at work when a friend texted him about a profile on Match.com.
She said, well, there's a profile of you on Match.com, and this guy is actually talking to me, and they were conversing back and forth, and she wanted to verify that it was not me because he was saying some very vulgar, interesting things.
As time went on,
it was funny the first time. Then I heard about it the second time, and then the third one, she actually went to a restaurant. He got her to go to a restaurant and sit down, order food.
Christy Porter is one of the women who saw the fake profile.
I was lucky, since I did know him, I was able to immediately contact him privately. A lot of girls don't have that option.
Catfishing is extremely common, and oftentimes catfishers have ulterior motives.
And over time, they build a fake relationship. They exchange photos, romantic messages, and even talk on the phone or through a webcam. But once trust is established, scammers create fictitious scenarios requiring financial help.
So what should you do if you think you're dealing with a catfish?
Always probe for specific details in their story. Use reverse image searches on websites like tinyeye.com or images.google.com to verify profile photos. Check the profile name, email, phone number online for inconsistencies.
Whether it's on the victim side to where they're being catfished or it's on somebody like my side, there has to be some legality, somebody out there that wants to find these people.
Matthew filed a police report and has since deactivated his Facebook where the photos were taken. In McPherson County, Gabriela Hernandez, 12 News.
And Matthew is now reminding people not to give out personal information and financial information as well. And be sure to update to limit your information on social media in case that a scammer or catfisher uses your info. Well, we are in the holiday season, and Factfinder putting out an alert from police who say this time of year they see property crimes increase. If you are leaving town for the holidays, the Sheriff's Office actually can help keep your home safe. Sedgwick County Sheriff's deputies offering their Vacation Watch program again, but you will have to sign up for it so deputies can check your property periodically while you're away. And if you add your request to the Sheriff's website, we have posted a link in the community section of links we mentioned on our 12 News app and our website. And if you are hitting the road for the holiday, you will want to make extra sure that you are buckled up. Law enforcement statewide is in the middle of a special seatbelt enforcement campaign, so you will see more officers on patrol checking for drivers and passengers that are not wearing their seatbelts. The data shows in 2023, more than half of all people killed in Kansas crashes were not wearing seatbelts.
I would say we've seen 1,000% increase, and I'm being conservative on that.
It's sad, it's terrible, and I can't believe that we lost a child.
Coming up, a call for action as concern brews over untraceable weapons turning up at crime scenes from coast to coast.